Welcome. Have you ever felt like something was missing? Not something you can name, but something just beneath the surface of your life. Like a memory you haven't lived yet, or a note in a song that never quite played. Tonight's hypnotic story is for that part of you. The part that remembers before it understands. The part that's still listening for a call it can't quite explain. So take a breath. Let yourself settle, and if the story stirs something deep inside, something familiar and forgotten all at once, then this channel is for you. Subscribe now, because every week I'll meet you right here, where the mind softens and the soul begins to remember what it always knew. The incomplete puzzle: how the mind searches for what the soul already knows. Her name was Monica, and her life had always felt like a puzzle. Not in the frustrating, scattered sense, but in that quiet, unfinished way, as if something, just one small thing, was missing. Not something she could name, not a career, not a friend, not even a love. It was deeper than that. Like a melody that paused on the last note and never resolved. Like a memory just out of reach, not gone, just not quite here. And so, she lived with this space inside her, this almost wholeness, this pause. It was on a rainy afternoon that she found the attic. She had inherited her grandmother's cottage, a moss-covered place where ivy braided itself into window panes, and the air had always smelled like thyme and cedar. The attic stairs creaked like secrets, and as she climbed them slowly, a flashlight in one hand, her breath held like a question. The light flickered over old trunks, dusty fabrics, photographs that still remembered the people who had forgotten them. And there, on the crooked table, was a box. It was plain, unlabeled, the cardboard soft with age. Inside were pieces, hundreds of them, soft-edged, muted in color, hand-carved, wooden, smooth from the touch of time. And as she poured them out, something in her chest stirred. The piece fit together almost intuitively. She didn't need to think. Her hands just knew. One curved here, another there. An image began to form. A house, a tree, a moon overhead. But when she was done, when the last shape was placed and she sat back to take it in, she saw it. The whole. A single space in the center, missing. One piece. She checked the floor, checked the box, every corner in the attic, nothing. Just that one empty shape, staring back at her like an eye. But here's where the story bends. Because that night she dreamt. And in the dream, she was standing at the edge of a forest, holding the missing piece in her palm. It pulsed, warm, like a heartbeat. And someone was calling. She didn't hear her name. She felt it. Like a way birds know when to fly south. Like how trees know when it's time to bloom. She woke up with her hand clenched around nothing, but the warmth was still there. From that moment on, she began to feel things differently. Certain places tugged at her chest. Certain songs pulled tears from nowhere. And sometimes, just before sleep, she could almost remember eyes, a voice, a smile that wasn't hers but felt like home. So she searched, not in desperation, not with force, but with a kind of gentle listening. She traveled, she walked unfamiliar streets, she sat in old churches, stood beneath new skies, wandered markets where languages slipped through her like wind. And all the while, the space inside her shifted, not filled, but awakened. And then, one day, on a sunlit beach beside a lake she hadn't planned to visit, she met him. He wasn't what she expected. He didn't arrive like a thunderclap. He sat quietly beside her, as if they were continuing a conversation from lifetimes ago. And when their eyes met, she didn't feel the fireworks. She felt recognition, the kind that silences everything, the kind that makes the world go still. He smiled, not wide, not dramatic, just knowing. And in that moment, she remembered the dream, the warmth, the missing piece. Not because he gave it to her, but because his presence reminded her that she had always carried it. It wasn't lost. It had never been separate. It had only been waiting for her to become ready to remember it. Some say we find the missing pieces of our soul in other people, but sometimes what we really find is the mirror that shows us we were never missing anything at all. We were just learning to see again, to feel again, to remember that some connections aren't found, they're reawakened. Like a puzzle piece that only becomes alive when touched by the hands that already know where every piece belongs. Hypnotic Induction. Before we begin, I invite you to find a position that feels easy, comfortable, and supported. Whether you're sitting or lying down, let your body begin to soften, like an old page folding gently closed. And if you wish, you can allow your eyes to close, or simply rest them somewhere still. There's nothing you need to do right now. No need to solve anything. No need to fix or figure it out. Just begin to notice the breath, that quiet rhythm that has been with you always. Sometimes noticed, sometimes forgotten. Like a friend who waits at the edge of a memory. Let each breath carry you deeper into the space beneath the surface, where thoughts begin to slow, like leaves floating down a quiet river. No rush, no resistance, just drifting. And as you drift, imagine that you are standing at the bottom of a narrow wooden staircase, old, worn smooth by time, the kind of staircase found in the attic of a house that has known lifetimes, a house that remembers. And maybe, as you place one hand on the rail, you notice something curious, the feeling that you've been here before. Perhaps not in this lifetime. Perhaps not in a way your mind can name. But deep in your body, there's a recognition. You begin to climb, step by step, rising not into answers, but into something quieter. Each step, a soft remembering, a returning. And as you reach the top, you find a small room, filled with dust and silence, and the strange hum of forgotten things. In the center of the room, a puzzle, already laid out, mostly complete, but missing one piece. And maybe, as you draw near, you feel it again. That quiet ache, that sense of almost. You sit, and without knowing why or how, you reach toward your heart, toward your breath, toward the space within you that has always held what the world told you you were missing. And there it is. The shape, the warmth, the memory. You've never been missing. You've only been waiting for yourself. So now, you may rest. You may listen. You may feel what it feels like to remember who you are beneath all the noise. The story is waiting, and you are ready. Let it begin. So here are the key meanings of the story. Number 1, existential longing is a signal, not a defect. The story speaks to the quiet, unnameable ache many feel, a sense that something is missing, even when life feels fine. Rather than pathologize this feeling, the story reframes it as a second invitation, a longing that emerges not from lack, but from the deep, intuitive knowing that a part of you is waiting to be remembered. Number 2, the missing piece is internal, not external. Though the story begins with a search, through dreams, travel, and encounters, the core realization is what Monica longed for was not truly missing. The puzzle piece was never gone. It was hidden inside her, waiting for the right conditions to be felt and seen again. This reflects the spiritual truth that wholeness is innate, not achieved. Number 3, soul connections mirror us back to ourselves. Meeting the stranger, a twin flame, soulmate, or intuitive mirror, doesn't feel her. It activates her. His presence doesn't complete her. It awakens the truth she already carries. The story captures the essence of twin flame theory, that such conditions can catalyze remembrance, not codependence. Number 4, the intuitive body knows what the mind forgets. Monica assembles the puzzle without thinking. Her hands just know. This symbolizes the subconscious, embodied wisdom that bypasses logic. The story suggests that deep recognition often happens when we stop overanalyzing and start listening to our felt sense, dreams, and internal signals. Number 5, the search is the remembering. Rather than being a futile chase, Monica's search is a sacred journey of reawakening. Each place she visits, each emotion she feels, softens her back into herself. The process of seeking gently transforms into the process of remembering, a subtle, powerful metaphor for healing. And number 6, completion isn't a final moment, it's a soft realization. The story closes not with a grand revelation, but with a quiet knowing. Completion in this case is a shift in perception, realizing that the ache itself is what leads you back to what you carry within. And I want to thank you for joining me for tonight's story. If something in this tale spoke to you, if a piece of you felt seen, softened, or stirred, know that this space is always here for you. And you don't have to journey alone. If you'd like a personalized custom story crafted just for your soul season, a hypnotic experience woven around your path, you're warmly invited to reach out. Email me at rhondahypnoticstories@gmail.com, and that's a Rhonda without an H. And let's begin the story your heart's been waiting to hear. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe now, because here you'll always find a place to come home to yourself. Until next time, be well.